Crisis after crisis is piling up on the Biden-Harris administration just over a month before Election Day. The strike freezing ports across the East and Gulf Coast, affecting about 40% of containered goods, and it's now on its third day. The longer this goes on, the more it threatens empty shelves, higher prices, your pockets. And communities across the South are still struggling to pick up the pieces a week after being decimated by Hurricane Helene. The catastrophic storm has now claimed the lives of over 200 people across 6 states. And Homeland Security is warning that FEMA does not have the funds to make it through hurricane season. And then you have the Middle East, which stands on the brink of an all-out war. President Biden being accused of deterring our ally Israel in the wake of Iran's largest missile attack ever in their history. Hello, everyone. This is Outnumbered. I'm Kayleigh McEnany here with my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Emily Compagno. Also joining us, Fox News Sunday anchor and chief legal correspondent Shannon Bream, and Veterans on Duty chairman and former Army intelligence captain Jeremy Hunt. It is indeed at this noon hour on a Thursday, crisis after crisis after crisis. And Emily, I mean, it could be appropriately named the Biden-Harris chaos administration. There's no leadership. There's no energy. There doesn't seem to be any direction. And we have a President Biden, who's a lame duck before lame duck season.
And I'd like to point out the pattern, unfortunately, of this administration, which is waiting to wade in. They wait to release statements, and when the statements are released, they are tepid, not enough, and they're overgeneralized. And I always feel, I think, partly disheartened at the fact that these are people who ran on, remember, their platform was not only unity, but on restoring humanity to the administration and to America. And you can feel that dearth. None more pronounced than in these devastating times when right after Helene hit, where was the president? We have known for now 3.5 years the president's position on Israel, absolutely inadequate. But as he and Kamala Harris had run on this platform, the reality is that it caved wide open and showed us that there was nothing of substance there whatsoever. This time we need leadership, and we need the optics of leadership and in the administration. Where's that? Where's the time for all of that and the details? So unfortunately, I have no faith in this commander-in-chief, and I have no faith in the person trying to be commander-in-chief. We saw that in the Afghanistan pullout, most pronounced, and now we see it when absolutely everything is imploding.
Shannon, and Emily mentions optics there, and that's so important because it was 1 week ago today when the images were flooding in from my family of literally flooded homes, neighbors, and it took several days to really see any sort of leadership. We have some pictures. This is President Biden, and we'll pull this up. This was on Saturday, September 28th. You see him in Delaware. And then we'll flip over to Kamala Sunday. Again, the hurricane happened Thursday. She's on Air Force Two looking disengaged. I mean, these are hardly pictures of people who seem to be dependably engaged during a time of crisis for a region of the country.
You know, and a lot of analysts, political analysts, will say these are an opportunity. They can be a political opportunity. Right. We got to recognize people are suffering. All of these tragedies that we're covering are costing lives. They are devastating people. But it's sort of like a real-life job audition. We're watching it in real time. You can show up in a couple of ways. Do you have compassion? Does it look like you're connecting with people, that you care about what's going on, whether it's the port strike, whether it's Helene, whether it's the Middle East? Also policy, though. It's a chance for you to talk about your policy and illustrate how you would handle these things. But it raises a lot of questions, how we're spending our money. Emily, you mentioned DHS said they're going to be out of money. Secretary Buttigieg also saying the Transportation Department is going to run out of money. So it raises questions about how we have been spending our money, how we have been, and on whom we've been spending our money. Are Americans a priority? And when it comes to the Middle East, we're not even enforcing sanctions on Iran. We're giving waivers. I mean, all of these policy questions come up as you're trying to handle this both as a candidate and somebody who's supposed to be running the country as well.
You know, Harris, one of the oddities of this is we've seen people who are not president take the lead. President Trump working with Elon Musk to put Starlink up, comms in North Carolina. Roy Cooper, the governor, Brian Kemp in Georgia, and Ron DeSantis in Florida. And we have some new sound from him. He's taking action at the ports in Florida. This is just end. He is sending the National Guard to Florida's Ports Watch.
At my direction, the Florida National Guard and Florida State Guard will be deployed to critical ports affected to maintain order and, if possible, resume operations which would otherwise be shut down during this interruption. I'm also directing Florida Department of Transportation to temporarily waive the collection of tolls and other fees for commercial vehicles using public highways in Florida, and waiving the size and weight restrictions normally governing vehicle transportation for the duration of this emergency. This will help expedite the movement of goods that have been impacted from seaports to intermodal logistics centers, distribution centers, and delivery points.
You know what I think, and he was talking about Helene just moments ago as well before that. You're seeing Republicans do something that we normally see Democrats do. They're jumping in. And yes, they are jumping in for their own states and jurisdictions, but this helps Trump. It does, because it's a unified idea and vision of real unity and leadership during a crisis. When you said it, I think you had the quote of the day, Emily. You said that, you know, that Biden and Harris are really known for waiting to wade in. That doesn't mean they jump in with the best decision. They sort of take the temperature of the water, and they want to do like, oh, we don't know if this is okay politically or best for the American people, but we'll just do that one thing. The border. We didn't see her for 3 years. She shows up 40 days or so before an election. Ukraine could have helped them in the beginning. Shannon, I remember you were on the couch. We were talking about that. Why don't we help them now? If we're going to help them and spend money, let's help them. Israel. He could have been part of that deal very, very early on to help shore up going to get those hostages. Biden and Harris could have, both of them, so that you wouldn't have the cataclysmic outcome of Israel at war on two fronts. And then you've got the energy crisis. Do you remember when he was tapping those fuel lines, those reserve lines, like they were going out of style? Because the prices had reached a crisis point. And now we've got the port strike. Could have done the Taft-Hartley Act and forced a cooling off period for 80 days. Kamala Harris and Joe Biden wait to wade in. Quote of the day.
You know, Jeremy, I do want to put up what I think is a case study for the failures of the Biden-Harris administration. It's crazy when you take a crisis and you tap a resource and then create another crisis. And that is exactly what happened with FEMA. They're saying FEMA does not have room for another hurricane. Hurricane season doesn't end until almost December. Well, they took, you're looking at it, $650 million for sheltering illegal immigrants one year, $363 million another year. That adds up to almost $1 billion laundered out of FEMA to solve an immigrant crisis, creating another crisis for U.S. citizens.
I mean, this was foreseeable. I mean, the money has to come from somewhere, and so if you're spending all these funds and not saving up for a time of crisis like now, well, now we're in this problem. And I do want to go back to something you said, Shannon. It was about it is an opportunity. If you are Vice President Harris, she is spending millions upon millions of dollars on ads trying to project herself as a strong leader. You know, she's a tough prosecutor. You know, a lot of this is untrue, but you know, she says all this in these ads, especially in my home state of Georgia, but yet, this is a national opportunity to demonstrate leadership. You see that your boss does not know what's going on. He's not going to step up. He's at his beach house. You know, he says that his leadership was being on the phone for a couple hours, you know, in the middle of a major hurricane. And here's your moment to step up and say, look, I'm willing to take charge. I'm going to demonstrate compassion. I'm actually going to get results. But you don't see that. Instead, she's focused. She probably wants us to stay away from it a little bit because she doesn't want to, you know, get into the mess of it. But even when I was at West Point, and as a young cadet, like the very basic leadership skills is that it's about presence. Leadership is about presence. You got to show up, and you don't see that from this administration.
Yep, you could step up or you could go to Rehoboth Beach, and we know which one our president so often chooses.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.